What is going on, guys? Welcome to episode 7 of my MadCar Mobile 2026 career mode, and we are here for the Austrian Grand Prix in the Styrian mountains. As we complete our first run of Q1, we are in provisional pole position, and then we narrowly missed the Alpine as we rear-end him. And these are the results of Q1. My teammate made it through narrowly in P15, and now let's get into Q2. The final two corners of the lap with two purple sectors on the mark. Through the final corner, onto the start finish straight, DRS wide open, we're down to the line. Where will we end up? We will end up in P2 with just 38,000 behind Verstappen. And here are the Q2 results. My teammate made it into Q3. He ended up in P7. Oh Jesus. Now let's jump into Q3. What an incredible effort from him after nearly getting knocked out in Q1. And here we are completing our Q3 run, and we are on pole position for the Austrian Grand Prix. And my teammate ended up in P10 in the end, unfortunately. Not that bad, but I expected a bit more from him. Anyways, now let's jump into the race. Before that, let's check out the overall qualifying results. I start the race from pole position. Next to me is Verstappen, and in P3 it's Lewis Hamilton. And now let's jump into the race. Here are the 5 red lights, and off we go for the Austrian Grand Prix. We get a decent start, but Verstappen gets a better one. I directly cover off the inside line, but I couldn't react fast enough as the Ferrari of Lewis Hamilton really overtakes us both, and I got forced wide. And Verstappen overtakes us both, and now we're closing up the hill down to turn 3. And we make the move on the inside. He tries the switchback move and he taps my rear. I nearly spin away. Off goes Verstappen and through goes Hamilton. Side by side we go down to turn 4. Who brakes later? And it's Lewis Hamilton. He brakes way later than I expected. I had a little look on the inside for the switchback move, but he was way too quick on the exit, so I couldn't make anything out of it. So we'll have to settle back for P2 for now. And also Verstappen is catching up a bit again, but through the infield we can catch up to Lewis Hamilton and make up some ground. And through the final two corners we're catching, and we run wide a bit. The oversteer kicks in through the final corner on the outside. Can we overtake Lewis Hamilton? Side by side we go down to the finish line. Into turn 1, I squeeze him, and the curbs caught him, and he spins out. He nearly flips over the fence, completely hangs like a cow, like Nico Hülkenberg did back in 2018 in Abu Dhabi, if you remember. If I didn't expect him to take this long to get back onto the track, they deployed the safety car half a lap later. And here it is, as we're beginning lap 3. Meanwhile, we are already over 2 seconds in front of everyone else, so the safety car destroys the gap completely, and all the effort I put in the first few laps gets destroyed. So here we are, caught up to the safety car, and 2 laps later the safety car comes to the pits. Here it goes, and we are free to push, as also the indicator says it. And through the final corner we get a great launch back to normal speed, and Verstappen couldn't have any look on the inside or somewhere on the outside, and didn't have any chance to make a move on me, so I will push away. And 20 laps later, as nothing happened in the first stint, we will come to the pits as our tires don't look that good anymore. So into the pit lane we go. We hug the corner on the inside to get. And what is the Mercedes doing? What the hell? I guess it was Antonelli. He's already standing there for a while, I guess, and trying to get into the pits, but somehow wasn't able to reverse or something. I don't know what happened. And out of the pits we go. A huge amount of cars are here letting me pass as they are getting lapped. Around 5 cars in a gaggle, and I lap all of them. A few laps later, in lap 33, I made a crucial mistake into turn 5 as we were coming to that corner in a few seconds. To turn 4 we went just, and into this corner I ran wide a bit, had a massive oversteer and had to shift down into 3rd gear, which made me lose a huge amount of time, and in the end it will nearly cost me the podium. As we continue our journey out of this turn into the final sector of the lap, through the final 2 corners, onto the start finish straight we go. Gap to Leclerc has shrunk massively to 1.7 seconds. And there's another few cars to lap. And what is this car doing? It holds me up massively into the first corner. And suddenly Verstappen is 8 tenths behind me. It also caught up Leclerc. So it's now a three-way battle between me, Verstappen and Leclerc for the win around the Austrian Grand Prix circuit. Where can we make a move? As Verstappen has caught up. Unfortunately, I wasn't aware that not using the overtake here as will be a huge mistake, as he gets around the outside and brakes way later than I expect him to. Sweeps around the outside and gets into P1, and I'm defenseless as I run wide through this corner, and through the next corner I catch up to him a bit, but still I don't use overtake. And so to the next corner I run wide again as I get another huge oversteer moment. But now I finally activate one of my brain cells and activate the ERS to overtake. Somehow my car doesn't really get a top speed advantage. A huge launch down to turn 1 and also get launched into the air. Luckily he creates a so-called artificial barrier or something, as he denies me from flipping over. And now with my ERS on overtake, this time I get a better top speed, and so I had a little look on the inside, but instead Charles Leclerc overtakes me around the outside and I'm down to P3. What looked like an attempt for an overtake, it became a defense for not getting overtaken. I don't know what the AI consumed in the last few laps, but somehow they are suddenly way quicker than in the first stint, where I got them several seconds per lap. And through the middle sector you can see it very clear as they are gapping me, and now they are already over a second away from me. Through the final two corners I managed to catch up to them a bit. Something, it's not clear what, but something caught me thinking that this was already the final lap, and I went out of throttle on the line, but then I directly realized that it wasn't the final lap, and I had the chance to re-overtake both of them with a double overtake into the fourth corner, but my brain couldn't cooperate this quick. In the end I wasn't able to make the move, so in the end I will have to settle back with P3 because the AI enabled some sort of a boost in the end. And with my mistakes and unconcentrated driving, any further move could end up tragically, probably even in the wall. Through the final corner for one last time. This time it's really the final lap, final time on the straight, down to the line, and we finish up in P3. And here is the podium. This time we are on the lowest stage of the podium, and now let's check out the results. In the end, Leclerc even won the race and Verstappen came home in P2 where he started. My teammate ended up in P6 and Paul David finished in P5. What is this crazy result in Austria? This is insane stuff. And both McLarens didn't score points with P13 and P14. A very devastating weekend for them. And Lewis Hamilton recovered to P4 in the end after getting flipped by me, more by a curb, not really by me. I squeezed him a bit too much, I'd say, but a great recovery drive from him. And anything else? Oliver Berman, who started from P17, finished in P9, which meant he made up 8 places. Here are the Drivers' Championship standings. I further built a gap, now it's 39 points. And the Constructors' Championship standings just changed in the lower end where Haas overtakes Alpine.